I'm here today with my guest, LAHLIA Cole. So if you'd like to just give a brief introduction to the viewers.
Hi, I'm LAHLIA. I'm a singer-songwriter from Birmingham.
So how did you get into the music industry?
I actually love telling this story. So how I got into the music industry is because I went to a secondary school that I got bullied at and I didn't enjoy my time there. And my brother was actually a drummer and he wanted to audition for Birmingham Ormiston Academy. For anyone that doesn't know, there's a performing arts college, and I was like, oh my gosh, like I'm gonna come with you. And my whole family were like, what are you gonna do there? And I was just like, music. And they were like, but that's like your worst subject though. And I was like, well, something's gonna have to happen because I ain't staying here. So yeah, I literally forced myself to learn What Now by Rihanna on the piano literally the night before the audition. Went in there, played it from, because I'm a really quick learner. That's like one thing that I feel like has helped me throughout my life. I've picked things up really quickly, and so I just went in there, played the song, left, came back in, and I was like, oh, like, can I sing a song for you as well? And they were like, yeah, sure. Bearing in mind, like, I'd never sung in front of anyone in my life at this point, so I don't even know what came over me. Sung Pretty Hurts by Beyonce. I don't know why I chose that song. And then they interviewed me. They were like, oh, why did you want to sing for us? And I was like, oh, I just wanted to try something. And they were like, well, that's really good of you. And then I think that's what like got me into the school. But then like once I was there, I literally had no clue what I was doing. I was around like all these musically inclined children. I had no clue what I was doing. But like the more the days went on and I was like watching them closely, it just made me naturally want to get into it. Plus my dad's always been like involved in music. He was like heavily involved in music. And so yeah, I just kind of picked it up and then became really passionate about it out of nowhere. Started teaching myself how to produce, writing songs for my classmates, taking singing lessons, like literally it just came out of nowhere. So yeah, that's how I got into music.
So you said obviously your dad was into music. What kind of music did your dad do and how did that inspire your current music?
I actually love that question because he did like the typical 80s R&B, which is literally my favourite genre. He was a producer like back in the day. I think he started off working for like this radio station. I don't want to say what radio because I just don't want to get it wrong. But I know it like as he progressed throughout his music journey, he actually like worked with Stevie Wonder. He was in the same room as like Janet Jackson. And like he was gonna like move to New York, I believe, but he was marrying my mom and that was like his priority. Which I write, shout out Dad, but Ben kind of know because I don't know if I do. And yeah, so that's the sort of music that he made. He made a lot of dance music as well, and I feel like that's kind of like trickled like into my songs because I'm not really a slow song girl, and I feel like people expect that from me because I do have quite a soft voice and that's just what you think typically when someone's like, oh, I make R&B, but like I actually can't stand slow songs. Like I love bounce, I love like heavy drum beats, I love stuff that just like, you know, when you hear a song and you just like automatically you don't even know that you're moving your head, like that's the sort of stuff that I love and that's the stuff I love to make. So I feel like yeah, I definitely did get that from him. Yeah.
Obviously, you said your home environment sort of impacted your music. How did your dad like influence your mindset and different things like that?
My dad influences me and my mindset in like a lot of different ways actually. He's just very strong-minded. He's a very strong-minded man. He's very determined. He's very hardworking. He's just very like he knows how to maintain tunnel vision. And that's something that he's always taught me. I can't lie, growing up I've swayed a bit, had a few distractions, but I've always come back to you know, what I want and rediscovering my why for these things. Like something that my mum always tells me is that I'm really resilient. Like I could get knocked down 100 times and I'll still get back up and try again. I could embarrass myself 10,000 times. It doesn't matter because I'll still go at it again. It doesn't matter if I want to do it, I will. And I definitely think that I've got that from my dad because he's very much like that. He's not a proud man. He's very like, try again, innit? Like, so yeah, I think that's, yeah, like father, like daughter. Yeah.
So obviously, with your music, what artists inspired you and influenced you specifically?
My biggest inspiration has always been JoJo. And some people say they hear it, some people don't. I've just always been a fan of her voice, and my dad used to play her music like in the car and stuff, and I had like my first CD and my first little CD player, I remember it. And he like custom made a CD for me with like all these girly R&B songs, and there was like 5 JoJo songs on there, and they were the ones that I'd like put on repeat because I just loved the sound of her voice. And then growing up, I'd like discover more of her songs, and I just never really stopped listening to her. I love the tone of her voice. Like she's very like agile, she's very nasally, but I love that. And yeah, I feel like it does kind of show through how I sing sometimes. I love covering her songs, and yeah, I just think she's just such a sick vocalist. So I would say JoJo is my biggest inspiration, yeah.
So R&B music, obviously that's one of your main sort of like
Yeah.
influences. How does R&B music make you feel? And how do you want people to feel from listening to your music?
R&B music is, okay, because there's different types of R&B. There's like soulful R&B, there's alternative R&B, there's contemporary R&B. I'm not really a contemporary R&B person. I don't know if I'm gonna get like hated for saying this, but I find it kind of corny, like the Chris Brown and like the just all them lot. But then saying that, I don't know, I do love some mainstream R&B, but like it has to really like grab me. I'm more of a fan of like alternative R&B, and I feel like a lot of it is just relatable. A lot of like things I've struggled with through life, I feel are typical subjects of an R&B song, if that makes sense. So yeah, I just love listening to those sort of songs because it's like it hits, like I can feel it. Do you know what I mean? And it kind of makes me sit there and I'm like, oh, I could have wrote this song. I wish I wrote this song. And yeah, I do want people to feel like that when they listen to my stuff, because do you know what? We're all living the same life at the end of the day. I don't feel like there's many things that we go through that people can't really relate to. And if I can put that across in a song that sounds good to people, I feel like win-win. Do you know what I mean? So yeah, I'd love for people to listen to my songs and be like, oh my gosh, like I want to sing this with my heart and my soul because I literally know how this feels. So yeah.
Well, what would you say, like, in terms of like music, what like subject matter moves you as a person?
Definitely love. Definitely how it is living as a woman in general. I have written a lot of songs about how it is to just be a girl in a man's world, and just, you know, a lot of self-confidence as well. That's something that I've had like a very complex journey with growing up, still ongoing. And yeah, I just wish that I had like something to kind of push me towards that direction quicker as I was growing up. So if I can do that for any girl that's younger than me, I would love to do that. If that makes sense. Yeah.
So in terms of confidence, what sort of things have helped you improve your confidence as a person, as an artist?
Spending a lot of time by myself and just becoming my own best friend. Like this summer, I wasn't outside, but I was like outside, as in I I didn't go out and like see friends, but like I spent a lot of time outdoors. I was walking for like hours every single day, talking to myself, talking to God, like journaling, audio journaling, video diaries, like I really had to like learn myself, because I got to a point where I felt like I didn't know myself, and it was becoming quite concerning because of like how old I am. And I just thought, you know what, like, no, like, stop this. Like, we're gonna nip this in the bud right now. Like, let's just dig deep, and you're just gonna find out who you are, what you like, what you don't like. This will help your music, it will help your sense of self, it will help your future relationships and everything around you. So yeah, I'd say definitely like confidence is being your own best friend and being your biggest believer. Like, you are the only person you're gonna spend your whole life with. So your relationship with yourself is like the most important one after God, in my opinion. So yeah, I really wanted to build on that. I really wanted to just make sure that like that was strong and it was sorted and it was solid. Because yeah, like I said, like if you don't have yourself, then what do you have? Do you know what I mean? And that is definitely where a lot of my confidence has come from. Yeah.
I think it's solitude. I think solitude is where it's like, obviously, how you like your inner dialogue and how you speak to yourself. It determines how you also speak to other people.
Yeah.
So it determines a lot of different things.
100%.
So what advice do you have for women who want to improve their self-confidence?
I would just say any insecurities you have, sit in them. Sit in them, feel them, let them like filter through, let them pass. Don't suppress them. Don't act like you're someone that you're not. Don't act like you aren't scared if you are. Like, it's okay to be scared. It's okay to not feel okay. It's okay to be sad and be insecure, as long as you're willing to sort it out and not stay in that place. Like, it's so normal. And I feel like people are scared to come across in those ways. But that's what makes you human, do you know what I mean? And like, it's like, I have like really bad stage fright sometimes, and people kind of look at me sideways because they're like, well, you're a singer, like, why, what are you gonna do if you can't get over your stage fright? But like, it's normal and it's okay, and I'm okay about it, because I know with practice and experience it will get better. I trust myself to build on that. It's just so important that you look at things that you consider flaws of yourself and you just work on them, because if you leave them stagnant, it's just never going to improve, do you know what I mean? And you only have yourself to blame. So I'd just say, yeah, just sit in your insecurities and just work on them. Don't be scared to work on them. Don't be scared to touch them, and just acknowledge what they are, basically.
100%. So in the answer, you touched on live performances. So when did you do your first live performance, and what was that experience like?
I did my first live performance when I was 17 years old, and it was at an event called Indigo Nights, and it was in Jewellery Quarter I can't remember what the place was called, but I remember the night, and I performed 2 songs that I'd written that no one had heard before. I was so scared. I was like the only female, I was the only singer, and I was like the youngest person there on like the lineup. And I just remember like literally saying to my mum, like, I'm gonna be sick, I actually can't do this, I've never done it before, I just don't want to do it. She's like, well, you're here now, like, you've kind of got to do it. And yeah, like that, even that, like just diving into it, I came off stage and I wanted to do it again. But it's like, I always forget, every time I go to perform, I always forget that afterwards I'm gonna feel like I wanted to do it again. But it's just like the first initial feeling of like having to get on the stage, because it takes a lot to get on the stage, especially when you're singing. Like, singing's so personal. It's like your voice, you know what I mean? And it can mess up, especially when there's like loads of phones everywhere. Everyone's gonna have like your mistakes on camera, like, and you just overthink everything. But like, no one even pays attention to that. Still something I'm trying to embed into my own brain. But yeah, that was a really nice experience, because everyone really like appreciated like that it was literally the start of my journey. They, you know, told me that the songs were really well written, which was important to me, because I really wanted to be a songwriter more than a singer at that point. And yeah, it just like kind of affirmed, like, okay, you're doing the right thing, like, let's just do another one when the time comes. And someone asks you to perform again, don't say no. It's good practice. Like, it's just good that you even did this. So yeah.
What did you learn from your first live performance up until this day?
I learned from my first live performance that... That's a good question. I learned from my first live performance that sometimes you just have to do things that you don't want to do. Because from that night, I did get asked to do about like 2-3 more gigs, I think. And it gave me more confidence to like know, because obviously like I went to a college that we're always doing like showcases as well. I didn't want to sing in front of the class, let alone everyone's parents when they came. Like, so that kind of made me feel like, okay, well, like if I hadn't have done that, I wouldn't have been a step closer to like feeling like I could do a school showcase kind of thing. I find it harder to perform in front of people that like I know really well. And I find it easier to perform in front of strangers because it's like I'm never going to see you again, really. And that's why that first performance did feel easier to go ahead with, because I knew like I wasn't going to know anyone there except for mum and dad. But yeah, I just came out feeling a bit unstoppable, to be fair. So yeah, and I just did like think like if I hadn't have done that, I wouldn't have been able to do other things. I wouldn't have been asked to do other things. Just gotta keep going.
Something I want to know is, so like your style as like a person, as an artist, how did you develop that to sort of match your music, if that makes sense?
Developing my style as a person and music wise, I actually still feel like I'm finding that. I wouldn't say I'm like solidly in a certain style. I feel like I change all the time. Like every single era of my life makes me a different person. And yeah, I think it always just comes down to like a feeling. Like when I've done something, or like even if like I'm in an outfit, I can't even describe what it is, but I get like a feeling where I'm like, yeah, this is it. If something's off, I'm like, nah, back to the drawing board. Like it's not tickling me. When it comes to like making music, I work really closely with Rion Vanga. He's literally like my music bestie, and he gets my sound really, really well. And I think like approval from him is very important to me. Like obviously approval from other people like shouldn't be like the biggest thing to you, but from him like it is really important, because he knows what sounds good against my voice. He knows like if I'm writing and while I'm in a session with him, he won't be afraid to be like, no, I don't like that, just try something else. And it means the world to me, because I know he wants the best from me, and he just knows how like I work with like certain words, melodies, chords, da, da, da. And also, yeah, just having people around you that are like brutally honest. I know it's like hard to hear the truth sometimes, but I fortunately am surrounded by people that will just tell me the truth. Which is another thing that I'm grateful for, because I sometimes question my music and the things that I put out, and I just know that like if it was really as bad as I feel like it is sometimes, because I have like imposter syndrome sometimes, and like sometimes I'm like, oh, I shouldn't be doing this, I'm not good enough, da, da, da. I just like, I always think, you know what, they'd tell you if it was bad, like just like sure, just do it. So yeah, I feel like that's really important, just not surrounding yourself with yes men and men that are just like, people are just gonna like enable you to just do anything because you feel like it. Like it's really important to have people that care about you so much, to the point where they are gonna always be honest with you and give you their opinions where it matters. I feel like that helps me and my style. Yeah.
100%, because like one thing that they say that could like change the whole trajectory of what you're doing also.
Yeah.
And I think it's also, as an artist, it's very important to have a good relationship with your producer, someone who, as you say, someone who really understands your sound. So how did you like build that working relationship with Rion Vanga?
I actually saw him DJing one night, and I was just really loving his set. I was like, who is this on the decks? Because every song he's playing is a banger. And I just remember wanting to Shazam everything. I was like, what is this? What is this? And one of the girls that I knew at the event, she was like, oh, that's Rion. I was like, who's Rion? She was like, him. And I was like, I need to get in touch with him. And then we must have like bumped into each other like a few weeks later at a different event. And because I was already working with like one of his friends, KK Leb, also a really sick producer. And they were like, let's just do a three-way session. Like, let's just all get in and just make something together. And I was like, yeah. So he was like, I'm going to send you like some things that I've made. I said, yeah, go ahead. He sent me some stuff. I'd written to it, I'd recorded it, and I'd sent it back to him. He was like, oh, this is so sick. We need to make more stuff. And then like literally from that point, he was just at my house like regularly, and we would just always, like, I can't even like tell you the amount of things we've made together. Like it's so crazy. We've probably got like 2 albums worth, probably more than that actually. And yeah, like, because I'm such a fan of everything that he makes, and he, bless him, is a fan of like everything that I do as well. And that's why we just like work really well together, because like there's nothing that he would put down that I'd be like, I hate it. Do you know what I mean? And yeah, I think as well, like personality wise as well, we complement each other, because I'm very chatty patty. He's just like, yeah, let's just do this. But like I bring like a chatty side out of him sometimes, and he will push me to be more focused on the music. And it's really, really not like, I literally consider him as like a brother now. So yeah.
That's amazing, man. So how did you create your first song, and what was that song called for the audience?
So my first song, the one that I released. So my first song that I released, Gym Body, that was made in April 2024, I believe. Yeah, 24, yeah. And that was made with Briscoe and Rian. That was actually done in like one session. I think that's the quickest we've made a song. Briscoe, really talented singer, really talented writer. He noticed like some bad habits that I kept making while writing, and he really wanted to like take me away from that, because it's like I'd just automatically like go to the same melodies, or I'd use the same words, or I'd like take it to the same place. And he was like, come on, like, you're better than that, like try this. And then all of a sudden it just became like a really good song that we were all obsessed with. And it's literally like a mix of all three of us. Like if you knew him, you knew me, and you knew Rian, like you'd be like, yeah, that song is literally all three of you like mixed together. And yeah, like we just loved it. We played it to everyone like loved it. And the feedback once I did release it was like, it was just so overwhelming. Like I wasn't even expecting it, because it was like my first thing. Do you know what I mean? I was like, I'll just put it out and it's just gonna be my first thing, yeah, whatever. But like everyone was so gassed about it.
I was gonna say, the song went crazy, man.
I know, like it did so much better than like I even expected, and I was just like, yeah, I was just so happy, man. Like it was a really great time of my life.
Something I noticed as well is there were a number of remixes for the song. What sparked the idea to do the remixes, and what was like the creation process behind that?
So that was actually that was spoken about between me and my manager. But then Rian came to my house again, like one of the times, like after we dropped the song, and he was like, oh, I've got a surprise for you. And I was like, what? And he played me a remix that J.C had made. And I was like, play it again. And play it again. Like, I loved it so much. I was like, this is so sick. Like, I want to listen to this all the time. And then my manager, Kieran, he was like, yeah, like, okay, sick. We'll have that as one of the remixes that we spoke about then, because that's like, it's really, really good. I feel like we need different sounding ones so that they're not all just like people don't feel like they're listening to the same thing, we've got a slow R&B one there ready. And then obviously we have the Bass Boy remix, which is the bassline one. Also, he went crazy. That I feel like that appeals more to like the older side of my audience. And I don't necessarily have like a history of bassline, but it's important to me because it's nostalgic. Like I have older cousins that just used to play it around me when I was a little kid. Like if I'd have sleepovers at their house, it's the first thing I'd hear in the morning while they were in the shower. Do you know what I mean? So like it really took me back, and I connected with that one as well. And then Pal, he did his thing. Like it made it sound more of like a more serious song. I wasn't around any of them when they made it, so I had like no input whatsoever. But when they all came back to me, I was like super pleased with every single one. Like there was nothing that I was like, oh, I don't like this, I don't like. They were all perfect. They were literally all perfect. So I was like, yeah, let's just release all of them. So yeah.
So what's your sort of like, because obviously you produce yourself as well. How did you learn to produce for yourself, and what's your process like as a producer?
So I learned to produce when I was 14, 15. And it was because, you know how I said like my brother went to Boa as well. So I did music, he did music tech, which was more like DJing and producing. And he had Logic at home on the computer. I saw him using it one day and I was like, what is this? It's like, oh, it's Logic. You just produce on it. Da, da, da. I was like, I want to learn it. Can you teach me? And he was like, yeah. But obviously, teenage brother, he's out with his friends. He doesn't have time to teach his little sister how to produce. So I just took it upon myself to do it. And like, I was literally on there every single day. And yeah, like, before you know it, I had about like 20 songs within like the first month of me, because I was just so obsessed with it. I was so hyper fixated on it. And then my dad, he just was literally my number one fan. Like he was literally like, oh, this is so good. Have you got any more? This is so good. Oh my god, yeah, we'll do this one. And yeah, so now I'd say like my process, you know what I love to do? I love sampling. I love sampling. I normally hear things like on social media. If I'm just like scrolling through my phone, I'll hear like a sound on a video, or and I'll just take it. I'll just use it. Or sometimes you get those moments where you're just in bed late at night and you hear like a thing in your head and you're like, oh, I should make a song out of that. So I have to voice note it, go to sleep, and then the next day I'll like play it in and work on it. Or sometimes I use Splice. Like Splice, I feel like it's looked down on, but it's like so good.
Tractive as well.
I've never heard of that one.
As well.
But yeah, I take things from Splice and I will like chop it up to the point where like if you were on Splice yourself, you wouldn't be able to recognise it. And I'll kind of like make it into like my own little sound, and I'll just build on that. And then these days, I don't know if this is a good thing, it's probably not, to be honest, but I have gotten into the habit of, you know, when Rion comes around, I'll be like, what do you think of this? And they'll be like, yeah, it's hard. I'll be like, do you wanna evolve it? He'll be like, go on then. But I'm trying to like not rely on other people so much, because I really want to, like, I just feel like I'm not really going to get better if I keep doing that. So it's just like everything he touches, in my opinion, it turns to gold. So I love passing it to him. But yeah, I would love to just better myself and produce something independently. I have, but I want to do it more. So yeah.
A song that I really like is Solace with Clabber 7. So how did that song come about, and how were you sort of bought into that song?
So Solace, that was just like a random one, to be fair. I got a FaceTime call from Clavis one night while I was like making pasta or something. He's like, LAHLIA, I need you to listen to this. And I was like, oh my god, what? And he must have been like in Pirate with Rion, and he was like, yeah, Rion, play the thing, play it. And it was like this dance housey sort of, and I was like, oh, I was like, I really like this. He was like, yeah, we want you to be on it, and I was like, me, and they were like, yeah, like we need a verse like quick, and I was like, a verse. And they were like, okay, just do whatever. It did take me ages because again, imposter syndrome, perfectionism. Like I'd recorded a few ideas. I didn't think they were good enough, so they were just like sat on my computer. And then one day, Clavis, he was like, I'm coming to yours because we need to sort this out. And I was like, okay. He came over and he could like see stems on the computer, and I'd like tried to mute them all. He was like, no, he was like, play it, just play it. And I was like, oh, okay. And I played it. He was like, wait, why did you not send me this? Like, this is perfect. And I was like, is it? And he was like, yeah, I love this. Like, this sounds perfect. Just send it me and we'll mix it and it'll be done. So yeah, that's kind of how that happened. It was like really quick, really random. But I love that song as well. And he really did do me a favour by just forcing me to send that to him, because now obviously I can't imagine it like sounding any other way. And yeah, I'm really happy with that song. I love that song, and I'm glad that they asked me to be on it because it's sick. Anything they do is sick. So yeah.
Something I wanted to ask you is, so what are some ways that you like to connect with your audience?
Why do I like to connect with my audience? Some ways I like to. Do you know what? I sometimes forget that I have an audience. I just feel like I have a lot of people that support me, and obviously like my followers on Instagram and stuff. But like I don't really like. I kind of like forget that they're an audience, or like I never use like the word like fan or anything, because I just feel like that's a very big term. Do you know what I mean? And yeah, so I kind of just try to just be like really normal. Like I only really got into like posting like large amounts of like music content like this year. I never really put like before this year, I'd never really like posted a lot about my music, even if like I was doing a gig or there was a song coming out. Like it was never really like that for me. It was more just like normal stuff, because yeah, I don't know, to be honest. I feel like I should do more to connect with my audience. Like that's probably something that I really need to work on. But then there's people that like message me and they're like, oh, really love your voice, really love this song, da, da, da. And like it's always really nice. And whenever I do get those messages, like I try to have like a conversation about it, or I'll just like I always make sure I answer people. I'm not the best at like answering messages. I'm not, but like I always will get around to it, and I always just let them know like how much that really means to me. Like I'm never expecting like praise for like my work ever, because I just find it weird, like even weird that people even just like listen to it. Like if they send me a picture of like my song that's just like come on their playlist, like I'm just like, oh my gosh, like thank you. Why? Thank you. Do you know what I mean? Like sometimes I just can't even believe that people just casually listen to me. But yeah, I always just make sure I show like my gratitude, because it does genuinely just mean the world to me. Like it's just so weird that people even listen to me. So yeah, I just try to be like really just friendly, as friendly as possible, and just have like normal conversations that aren't even about music. So yeah.
So I think obviously when you make music, making music also helps you grow a lot as a person. What are some ways over the years that music has contributed to your growth as a person?
I'd say like writing about certain things that I'd gone through in the past, listening back to it, and yeah, that helps me like see how far I'd came, or like sometimes I have really bad writer's block, and that forces me to actually like just live my life instead of thinking, oh my gosh, I have to write something, because sometimes you just can't. Anyone who's creative, like whether you do art, music, acting, whatever you do, like there are going to be like times where you feel like you're stagnant or you're plateauing, or like it's just hard to like move past that. So one thing I've become, sorry, like growing into an adult, is I feel like I've gotten a little bit antisocial. I just don't really like to leave my house. I don't really like to socialize. I don't know why. It's very out of my comfort zone. I really like just being indoors. But obviously making music with people that do music in Birmingham or anything creative in Birmingham has forced me to come out of my house sometimes, has forced me to call those people up and see how they are and just talk about normal life stuff. And yeah, I feel like that's helped me grow. That's helped me become more confident to actually like leave the house, meet up with them. Me and my music friends, like we always say like, let's meet up, not to do music. Let's just go for food. Or you guys come to mine, bring the PS5, we'll just sit in the living room and like we're not going to touch the studio. We're not going to step foot in the studio. Let's just be normal and just do normal things. And yeah, like I know that's very bare minimum to a lot of people, but socializing really isn't. I feel like I'm quite an awkward introverted person sometimes. When I'm around people that don't know me that well, that helps me just let loose, let my hair down, and just be in the moment with everyone else. So yeah, I'd say that's growth to me.
No, it's important to obviously be in your own space a lot because it's how you recharge, and when you go out you absorb a lot of different energies as well. So I think having that time to yourself is important.
Yeah.
So in terms of networking, how has networking helped you as an artist?
Networking has helped me as an artist because, again, like, if you don't speak, you don't get. If you don't ask, you don't get. Again, very out of my comfort zone. I've never like felt like I was good at networking. People say, just go and network. I'm like, how? Like, what do you even say? Like, what do you know what I mean? But people aren't even that scary. They're not. And it's something that I am learning. And I know it's bad because I feel like I can seem a bit unapproachable sometimes. Like I will just sit there with my resting bitch face and I'll look like I'm not having a good time, but I'm really just like disassociating. Like I'm actually cool. I'm just fine, but it just doesn't look like it. So because people don't come over to me, sometimes I'm like, oh, like I'm scared to go over to you. But it's helped me because, again, like, believe it or not, that helps stage fright, and it helps just knowing like you've put yourself out there. Like it's just a big thing to some people. I feel like it's a big thing to me. So yeah, even that, just that aspect of it has helped my confidence, I'd say. But also just being able to like connect with really good people, and you don't realize how like familiar and small everything and everyone is. Like I could go to 5 events spaced out in like 3 months and I'd see like the same people, and every time it gets easier to speak to them because I'm like, I've seen you, I know you, do you know what I mean? And you remember people and you remember faces, and like everyone's actually like really friendly. I think that, if I'm being honest with myself, that's just something I made up to kind of justify why I wasn't talking to people, because I was just like, oh, I just feel like everyone's just like so mean, and so, but they're not. Like, and I feel like that's probably part of just maturing, just accepting the fact that like everyone's probably feeling as awkward as you to talk to someone new, but like it just is what it is. You just gotta do it. And yeah, I wouldn't have the friends that I have in music today if I hadn't just gone out of the way to talk to people. It's gotten me gigs, it's gotten me features, it's gotten me really, really good friendships that I know will last a lifetime. Do you know what I mean? So yeah, networking is really important in so many ways. Not even just if you feel like someone or something is going to benefit you as a musician. Like it's so good to just make connections in general. Do you know what I mean? And some of these people I couldn't do music without, because they've turned out to be like my biggest supporters, more than like my own friends from like school. Do you know what I mean? So yeah, really important. If you're a musician, make sure you do that networking.
So Yeah, in terms of your sound, what different like sort of genres do you want to go into that you haven't done so far?
Oh, I'm so glad you asked. So, the genres that I really want to go into is 80s. 80s R&B. I feel like that's my bag. I've made a few songs already, which you will be hearing in 2026, but they are my favourite. Um, I do want to do more house. I feel like that suits me. I want to just experiment. I love neo soul, which is different to 80s and it's different to dance and house, but neo soul is another thing that I'm really trying to like put my foot in as well. Sometimes I feel like I do need to be careful because my listeners, they're going to expect this and then they're going to get that and then they're going to be confused and then what if that's not their but to be honest, trial and error. I'm at a point in my music journey where it's okay for me to try things. Like I can't really mess up right now. I can afford to try things and them not work out. I can't be scared of that because I'm not big enough for that to happen realistically. Do you know what I mean? I'm really not. So it's fine. I'm just excited really to like see how well those genres work for me. But yeah, I'd say like those three genres are like the ones I'm really trying to get into. Yeah.
In terms of your content creation, I've noticed that obviously you create a lot of different social media content and stuff like that. How do you like, what's your creation process like around creating content and like maybe music videos, etc.?
My trick is just don't think about it. Once I think about something too much, it becomes like a whole like mission and I get stressed out and then I don't want to do it anymore. I'm a typical girl who just likes to lip sync and like just do cute things in front of the camera. So like I've kind of just had to like use that and play on that because as much as I'd like to be a visual genius, I'm just not. Do you know what I mean? That's not my bag, unfortunately. So yeah, like it's just I think I really kind of dive more into like what things say on the video, like the captions and stuff, because like that's where I can grab people's interest if they're not interested in watching me lip sync. So like with this last song, Leave Me Alone, I've really tried to like make the captions of those videos relatable to women or men that have like gone through these sorts of relationships, and like I kind of like use really like broad examples of how a relationship can go wrong because you find out that like if you leave out the specifics, everyone's kind of been through that. Do you know what I mean? So that's kind of what I'm trying to focus on at the moment, I'd say. But yeah, obviously each song that gets released, it's going to be a different process, and I think it's just a case of just figuring it out. What works, what did people like, what did people comment on, what did people reshare, you know, just things like that, I'd say.
So how did you create the song Leave Me Alone?
That was a long process, to be honest, way longer than Gym Body. That was over the span of like 2 years, I think. Me and Rion were in a session one night. He made the beat. I was obsessed with it. I think I wrote the first verse, and then like for ages I just like left it because I just like the verses were written, but like the hook, that's one thing I struggle with in songwriting. I'm really good at a verse, amazing at a pre-hook, but a hook is where I struggle. Because I'm like, is it catchy enough? I don't like that. It sounds corny. Oh, I don't like that. Oh, I can't sing that. Oh, that's too high. Oh, that's too low. And then Briscoe, he was like, you're just making this too complicated. Like, just repeat what you said on the last line of the pre-hook. That's all you need. That will be the hook. I'm telling you, trust me. We were like, all right then, let's do it. Did it. And it was fine. I was like, oh my God, I really did overthink this. Like, it didn't really seem that complicated. So yeah, that could have really been shortened down. It's like probably a couple of weeks. But because I was just overthinking it and I was like, I want this to be perfect. it took like a few years, but I know that was like one of Ryan's like favorite things we'd ever made, and he was just like, we need to put this out, like what is taking you so long? And I was like, I just can't come up with a hook. And then Briscoe did it in like 2 seconds. I was like, okay, sorry. But we got there in the end. It was fine.
So what are some future projects that we can, or future things that we can expect from you as an artist?
So I have got like a good few singles dropping all the way until summer. And then there's 2 EPs that are like underway. So yeah, I'm not gonna say too much because like they are really gonna be a surprise, but that's all I'd say. Yeah.
So this has been an amazing conversation. Thank you very much for coming on my platform.
Thank you for having me.
Of course. I'm here with Ryan from Neighbourhood, and I'm here with LAHLIA Cole. So a few months ago, they did an event called Clavis 7 and Friends. So Ryan, how did you get in touch with LAHLIA, and what was the idea behind creating that event?
The way that event happened was through Clavis. So I found through the grapevine that he was looking to put an event on. And I think within 8 minutes, we had gotten a phone call and basically mapped out the whole thing. So I was like, yeah, this guy's on it. This guy's on it. So he had the whole concept. We wanted to do a takeover. He wanted to bring all his friends. Cue one of the friends, LAHLIA, came along, killed the set. It was a very sick event.
So what was your experience like performing at Neighbourhood at that event?
You know what? I think the first time I went to Neighbourhood, I think I was like 20, 21, and I'd always like gone there and thought, oh, like I could just never be on this stage. Like it just seems so overwhelming. But like I did notice that every time I'd gone to the event, like the audience was so like full of energy. And so that's kind of what I was like hoping for, but I literally got that. Like everyone, like I think that's like one of the best crowds I've performed in front of, to be honest. Everyone was so friendly, everyone was so receptive, everyone was so encouraging, very involved. And I know that I think there was a lot of people there that like hadn't heard my stuff before, and they still made me feel like I was literally like that stage was my home. It was just so nice, and yeah, I really enjoyed it. And yeah, it was so lovely. It was lovely. Yeah.
Okay. Watching LAHLIA perform, what were your thoughts watching LAHLIA perform, and what do you feel like the impact was of the event?
I think that event was very cool because it's one of the opportunities we get to bring in a little ecosystem. So on that event, you had artists that have been in their circles for a very long time, and you could tell that with like the energy between them and how they all work together, even to the point where we had producers involved on the DJ set. So it was a nice crafted event. And then watching LAHLIA perform, the only thoughts were, when's the next one? Let's get her some more shows. We've been listening to LAHLIA on our earphones for so long, so it's really cool to see her touch the stage.
So you performed the song Leave Me Alone. What was it like performing that song?
To perform Leave Me Alone at Neighbourhood, that was actually my first time, because that was like so soon after. I think it was like less than a week after I'd actually released it, and it was the first time I'd ever performed it live. So every time I perform a song live for the first time, I always get really nervous because I'm like, I don't know how this is gonna go. I haven't sung this really since I recorded it into the mic, so I just don't even know if I can do it, but it was a good, especially because of the band that was like doing it with me, and they'd like arranged it so well. I have nothing but good things to say about that song live, and I kind of can't wait to perform the song again, to be honest, especially if it's with a live band, because I just feel like it did change the feeling of the song, but I feel like I connected with it more. So yeah, I loved it.
So you can find Ryan on socials at It's Ryan Ridley and Neighbourhood Brum, and you can find LAHLIA on socials, it's LAHLIA Cole.